I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Sage, on I think the day of, ended up pulling out because his dad and his other cornermen couldn't make it and get their visas.
Bruh, why are they flying in the day of the fight?
I know.
There's some other random excuse, bro.
David So's fist makes him look like Obi-Wan Konnichiwa, okay?
That was a little mid.
David looks like he's about to grant Aladdin a seat on the council.
That's a little funny.
For him to land a head kick in the middle of that, he's getting so just murked when he gets into this corner.
Watch this. I think somehow decides, let me just throw a head kick right here.
Oh shit, hold on.
Watch this.
Welcome back to the Casuals MMA and Combat Sports Show. We are a show hosted by casual fans that literally don't know anything at all. Based on our clothes, we all hang out. We're all the same kind of group. This guy's wearing flip-flops. This guy's wearing Barney. Damn, are those Barney shoes?
Hey, these them I love you, you love me.
Oh, don't ever put your feet and hang them off like this as a man.
My man be strolling through elementary schools, dude.
You already know. They comfy.
We got a guy wearing a Kirkland signature shirt. Those are fire right now. Those are in. Guys, Nick is not here. Finally, dude.
Stupid idiot. He's getting his ears fixed for the first time. No, I'm just kidding. His ears are fine, but they're not.
Yeah. So we have two special guests. We got on the end over there. We got Robin Nurmagomedov.
Hello.
Is he Korean? Is he Dagestani? We don't know, but we'll find out. Also, we have Alex Lift God Acosta.
Yeah. My beard literally used to grow like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't grow.
And then when I hit like 25, this started growing in.
Well, it's not that bad.
Everybody has facial. Like, you can grow a beard too, huh?
Nah, dude, it's splotchy as It looks bad. It looks bad.
I mean, mine's pretty splotchy too. It's just I just powered through it and it just went all the way down this way. Now I just look like a Fu Manchu.
Dude, I love it.
Now, dude.
And of course, we got the main man right here. We got David So.
Yes, the biggest racist of all. Huh?
David was walking earlier. Alex was talking about working out. You know, you got fucking Robin, like, you know, digging in the dirt like a real farmer. And David just casually walking, eating empanadas in Burbank.
I had 3 empanadas. It was delicious. Very fantastic. I had no idea how high in calories they were until after I ate them.
It's like 1,400 calories.
It was roughly, if you look at, you know, all the stuff online, roughly, I probably ate about close to 1,300 calories. I had no idea.
The carb density's huge on it.
It's because they have a lot of butter apparently in the dough. Yeah. Whatever. I don't fucking know.
Apparently. Yeah. Apparently.
That's good for you.
I was like, why is this so flaky and delicious?
Robin, how's the farming? I feel like people need to get an update on how's I'll say this. I know you're really into farming because one time I saw Robin at a party and I was in an hour-and-a-half conversation about soil with him. Yeah. And I said, I don't know what to do.
So were you suicidal before or after?
Maybe both. How are the earthworms, my friend?
You know, I'm growing maggots. I'm about to grow some more maggots this year. So, you know, it sounds crazy, but 4 fucking years ago, I said that I was going to raise chickens.
Now you're raising bugs.
Well, bro. I'm the definition of a prereq guy. So to get good chickens, you need good maggots.
See,
that's where I'm at.
I remember that's how that conversation started. I was 2 hours deep with him.
Yeah, he meant
Don't get me started on that.
Replace it with the F, though.
Alex, how are you doing, man? You said you were going to start lifting. You're lifting, and the lady's coming?
No.
But hey, all right. That wasn't sad or depressing at all.
I've been lifting. I didn't start. So ladies, hit me up. You know, I'm still rock solid, kind of.
Oh, shit.
And I just unlocked Final Camo on Call of Duty, so...
Oh, you fucking nerd?
I don't even know what that means, but damn.
That shit hard. That's what that means, so hit me up. Tight shit.
My favorite comment was when somebody wrote to you in the comment, they're like, maybe this guy should do some push-ups. I was like, damn. Let's just show him like one quick video real quick. Insert into the video right now, please.
I started sparring with a guy on one of the casual podcast comment section.
What do you say?
It was like a week ago. I was just messing around. It was just some guy who doesn't know shit, but, you know, he was saying that I didn't know shit, and so we were just going back and forth. You know, I was just having some fun with it.
Dude, you got to do that. You got to defend yourself.
Well, the thing is, because you guys all have profiles, right? For me, I'm not really that, you know, in that space, so it's like, it's just fun.
Yeah, I don't know. If somebody wants to argue with me about MMA, it's like, I don't really know anything, so you can go ahead and argue with me as much as you want. I guess you're right. Like, I guess.
Dude, I think there were some comments in the last... Let me see if I pull them up. I think people felt inclined to roast you, David.
Oh, because of my fucking Yoda outfit?
Yes. But since you guys are encouraging roasting, David So's fist makes him look like Obi-Wan Konnichiwa. Okay?
That was a little mid.
Damn, bro. David looks smart as hell. And I remember the same dude from the Dudes Behind the Food. That's not that bad. David looks like he's about to grant Aladdin a seat on the council.
That's tight.
But not rank up.
That's a little funny.
Yeah, thoughts on your outfit last week? I feel like you didn't really address it, dude. You do look...
Wow, you do look like
you look like a Yoda, like Yoda's dad.
Well, I dressed like that because the main card made me fall asleep. So I didn't address it, but that...
looks like the towel they give you to like dry your car at a car wash.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Sean Strickland, man.
Yeah.
Dude, we're in Japan. We got one FC 165 Superlek versus Takeru. Let's talk about the first fight. Kickboxing match. It was a unanimous decision. What do you guys think? Was it a lot more split than we thought? People were saying the leg kicks did the whole thing, 4-1 for some.
I mean, look.
David, what do you think?
For those of you guys don't know, we're talking about ONE FC right now. I know that typically we talk about UFC. There was no UFC event, but it didn't fucking matter because this card was stacked as shit. If you guys can, if you are a fight fan, you have to watch ONE FC.
Yep.
You absolutely have to. If you love striking, if you're one of those people who are like, oh, I don't enjoy, I don't know, the fucking nut hugging and the grappling, then mosey on over to fucking ONE FC, dude, because these guys are bangers. Their heavyweight class isn't as skilled, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But once you start getting to the 135, 125, 145, 155 one, it's fucking insane. And so you have Superlek. Currently, right now, people are saying he is the pound for pound top Muay Thai and kickboxing phenom right now, right? Yeah. And you have Takeru. Fucking amazing kickboxer. Now, the story of this is very interesting, right? Because Takeru was supposed to fight Rodtang, right? Which would have been a banger either way. Now, everybody was very confused because they thought it was a lot more even than a unanimous decision. But here's the thing. I don't watch kickboxing enough to know what the rule sets are for how they score. Kickboxing and Muay Thai are also scored very, very differently. So I think sometimes when people watch this, they kind of look at it for the wrong sport. For me, I don't know what the exact rules are, right? But from what everybody who know kickboxing, they all said the decision was correct, that it was a unanimous decision. For me, as somebody who just looked at it, I thought, like probably you guys thought 3-2, maybe 2-2 going into the last, who knows? But it was kind of crazy to see how effective these leg kicks were. They were fucking disgusting, by the way.
Bro.
If you saw his leg after, legit almost made me yak. It was it looked like what Jose Aldo did to Uriah Faber, bro. It was so
same
bad.
thing, man.
Yeah, he spun him around in that old fight.
Yeah.
I
also, it's kind of crazy too, because, oh my Jesus Christ, dude. Iberico jamon, dude.
Let me get a slice of manchego.
You see what Italian man coming? Hey, let me get a piece of that. Some of my legs. But that shit is fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm actually surprised how was it in the third round where he just kept marching forward and throwing these bombs?
Bro.
I don't know how he was holding weight on that thing.
Yeah.
Dude, he had him on the ropes in that third round, man. He had him in the corner.
He was ping-ponging his head from his left fist to his right fist.
That was so good.
I just saw it rattle back and forth, and he didn't get knocked out.
No, dude.
Well, I mean, he was investing in ripping to his body even from round one, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, he kept going and ripping the body.
Which is great.
And this is where I think, like, 3 and 4, I would give it to the Japanese dude. Fifth round, though, going into that, I still don't think it was a unanimous decision. I mean, again, I don't know the rule set exactly. I mean, even just adjusting to kickboxing versus Muay Thai, right? You can't clinch, right? So I'm just like, whoa, that's so weird. That's so awkward, right? No spinning back fist. You can't do that, right? So it was just a weird thing to see. Like, in the fifth round, it could have gone either way, right? Because in the fifth round, what ended up happening was Superlek was ripping his body with those kicks, right? And he was going gung-ho as soon as the round started. He's like, dude, this is the last 3 minutes I got, right? But Takeru was just like ripping that body, and then he started connecting with the rights to the face, right? And dude, Superlek started, and to me, whenever I see kickboxing or Muay Thai, the funny thing is you're not allowed to clinch, and he knows you're not supposed to clinch, right?
Yeah.
Superlek started clinching because, just like Akiyama, right? He started clinching because he was fucked up.
Akiyama
right?
was doing full takedowns, bro.
Yeah. Which that was autopilot, right?
Alex, what did you think from watching this? You don't watch a lot of ONE.
I don't watch a lot of ONE, but you texted me at 11 o'clock last night to watch this fight. So when I was in the sauna, I did this morning. Yeah. And see, I didn't know that there was like an issue going on with it. Like, it were people that were mad with the decision. Because when I watched it in the sauna, I didn't watch it with audio or anything. I don't even know if it's is it English commentary or no?
Yeah.
It's English.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have it in multiple languages.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that Superlek won 4 out of the 5 rounds. I thought round 3 definitely Takeru won for sure. But other than that, I think this is like the perfect example that it shows that, and even in kickboxing, you need to use your hands.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the best example because Superlek was so like, look, his stance is cool. I like it. I've actually never seen him fight till this fight. I like how he's more forward. His straight punches were landing, and he was always throwing punches before a lot of his kicks. And I felt like the other guy was just throwing a lot of kicks, and he was landing some power shots, but it was single, maybe double, triple power shots when Superlek was landing one, jab, hook, cross, and then a low kick, jab, jab, jab. He was using his punches the whole time. So honestly, like I think round 4 was close. I thought Superlek won round 5, but I thought when I saw a unanimous decision, I was like, yeah, Superlek won that fight.
It's hard, right? So like. I'm not sure if it was kickboxing or Muay Thai, but either way, for scoring system, traditionally kicks are scored way higher than punches, like substantially higher.
Yeah.
Is there
body kicks, low kicks are scored way higher than punches?
Is there a scoring system on like just a fighter looking fatigued and tired?
So I heard for one in the kickboxing, their first is damage. That's like their first criteria is damage. So, I mean, in this fight, that guy's leg was so messed up.
And damage carries on like UFC. It's like round by round. It's like totality of the fight.
Okay. Yeah, just looking at it as a fight fan, if I was just like some guy walking on the street and I saw this fight happening, I'd be like, again, it's like the whole Diaz thing, right? If this was an unlimited time fight, then it looked like Takeru was definitely banking on his investment of ripping into his body, right? I mean, dude, Superlek looked so tired at the 5th round. I mean, he started breathing and looking at the clock starting the 3rd round, right?
Yeah.
Is it me or Superlek is the bigger fighter, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's with the size differences? I mean, I get it. A lot of last-minute changes on the whole card, but man,
dude.
dude.
Little feints, little knee
Even
feint,
Gregorian
dude,
looked so much bigger than the
This was like such a good example for anybody who wants to get into fighting. It's like basics always matter. Superlek was fighting so just sound, right? Very quick feints, setting up shots, no single shots, a lot of combos, controlling airspace. That void was all his. See those knees? Constantly feinted. So he wouldn't let him enter because the biggest thing that Takeru was trying to do once again was to pay dividends into the body and close that gap. Well, if he's constantly throwing up that knee, throwing up that feint, throwing out that jab, he kind of negates that in that void. And so I think that's where Takeru had a lot of issues until he could land that one good body shot, which he did in that 3rd, and it crumpled him into his stomach. And at that point, I was actually surprised that he didn't get knocked out. I thought he was going to get knocked out. And it might just be from those low kicks that kind of didn't allow him to plant on the front leg.
He couldn't use that much power.
Do you think there's a power difference, though, with these Japanese guys and these like fucking thick Southeast Asian Thai dudes?
It's because we bombed them, dude.
Well, the difference between the punches and
the radiation has made them weaker throughout the years.
Yeah.
But look at that. Punch. There's always punches before his kicks. Punches. He landed so much more boxing in this fight. But like what you were saying earlier, like it did throw me off. Like when he would like go to catch, when he would block the kick and catch it, he'd be like, "Don't catch the kick."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Damn, you can't even."
Yeah, it
do
would
that
just
shit.
throw me
That's
off so
crazy.
many times, right? Because it's like, it's not like these guys seem like they're experts in those specific rule sets, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of my biggest problem with just generally, like, I love one. It's so fun to watch. It's just, it's on and it's so entertaining. But like the rule set is just like this and then that. And then you're like, what is going on? And then even the fighters themselves have to be corrected all the time, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because especially with a league that has like what 1, 2, 3, probably 4 different sports, and you're bouncing between sports, especially Muay Thai and kickboxing, that gets really, really confusing.
Exactly.
Dude, this whole sequence right here that we're watching, so
For him to land a head kick in the middle, that is crazy, bro.
But the head kick looked like lazy as fuck.
He's getting so just murked.
Wait,
let me throw a head kick right quick and land it.
Wait, where?
It was a little further back.
Right here?
Yeah, it's like when he gets into this corner.
Watch this shit. And he somehow decides, let me just throw a head kick right here.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Watch this.
Like that's his first thought. Let me head kick you.
I gotta do leg kick. I gotta do the head kick.
Yeah, but dude, you got to give Takeru props though. That guy just kept on moving forward.
Coming forward.
It took too long to come forward though, right? I mean, he was a little tentative in the beginning.
I don't think he could.
If this was
it was
MMA,
just too much of the feints and it was just freaking him out a little bit. Also,
it was a war of attrition.
that exchange.
Look at all the punches before the kicks. I'm telling you, to me, that's what made the fight so clear for me. I was like, oh yeah, this guy won because this guy would land like power shots and good shots, but just I feel like the sheer volume that look right there, just there's like keeps going. Yeah, all the little punches, all the little jabs, but like what you're saying, I honestly just think it was the damage to his leg in that first round because that whole first round was literally almost just all kicks.
That's a visual damage, right? That's why again, I don't know. Do they quantify how?
Jeez.
Like, Superlek wasn't tired because he punched or kicked himself out, I don't think. I think it was just because of those damn body shots. He got hurt. So, I don't know. Again, like, I overall would say that I think I would give it to Superlek with a split decision. But, again, I don't know the rule set, just like Dave said.
Yeah.
Look at this shit, dude. I can't understand.
This guy just throws leg kicks like it's...
Yeah. But there's this part in the sequence where he literally socks him in the side of the head 3 times in a row, just beep, 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 beep. I'm like, how the fuck are you still up, dog? That one that he snuck around hurt him.
Right there. Ooh.
The question is, do you think these are hard?
Boom.
Well, that's because he didn't want to take any more body shots. He was like, I'm going to use my face as the sacrifice. And I'm just
Dude, he literally hit him with the bink.
Yeah. Wait, can you do flying knees here? No. Probably not.
No.
Oh, but did you guys know, like, Superlek
I think
landed...
you can without a Muay Thai clinch, though, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, there was a couple of knees, like, because he was feinting it so well. Like I said, this was the first time I watched him fight, and I was like, bro, this guy is good, man.
Oh, yeah.
But his feints with his knees, and then I think, like, it was either this round, the 4th round or something like that, he started, like, throwing him high, and they were landing on his chin. I was like, dude, man, it's insane. This was a fun fight.
Did you watch the Rod Tang and him fight?
I haven't, no.
Please watch that.
That one was actually could have gone either way.
Yeah? Okay.
But Superlek missed weight by like 5 or 6 pounds. So it was kind of unfair.
Yeah.
And then Rod Tang is like half his size.
Dude, he's a tiny kid.
And Rod Tang almost basically killed him with the
No, that was a fun fight, though. If you like...
Hey, you into ONE FC? You into it now?
I've always liked it. Like, I'll watch, like, Demetrius Johnson, but I just can't watch them
Americans.
I have to watch them, like, day after.
Well, they're also, too, they're shown at odd times.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's also
Main
like
event.
the pros and cons, right? I think it's so fun just to kind of casually watch.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to follow because
They all
there's
look the
so
same.
many like last second changes and like it's like what's the rule set and it's like then it's like you don't know what the heck
what's
is
harder?
going on.
It's also harder for the casual fan to watch something like this, right?
Yeah.
Just because people are very specialized and the rule set keeps changing depending on what you're watching. Because there's, people who want to watch kickboxing will not probably watch, Rotolo like fucking roll or something.
Yeah.
You know what
I have to admit though, I mean on the flip side, I think it's just generally entertaining across the board, right? So
Yeah, I'm just, for someone like me, I'm so invested into UFC. So for like me, I don't want to like even try to get
Be honest,
into it.
a lot of these guys, you can't tell them apart.
No, I can. One literally has blonde hair. One has
Brown Asian, blonde Asian. Come on.
no, but I just like it's. If
Wait,
I'm
say his name. What's the Japanese guy's name?
Takeru.
Okay.
You took me to good sushi, dog.
you're still saying it better than me though, because I'm just like,
fucking
the
Pikachu, bro,
Japanese
come on.
guy.
Takeru?
Yeah.
No, but it's just it's too much. Like it is fun, but it's just I feel like it's too much. Like it'd be too much for me to try to learn and like follow all these fighters.
They have hella fighters.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's the purpose, though. Like, that's why I don't think it's ever going to be sustainable in the sense of, like, oh, is it going to be a direct comparison to, like, UFC or
Nah, it's
something
its
like
own
that?
thing.
It's just its own thing, right? And that's what I love about it.
I was literally like, but when I watched this dude, that Superlek, man,
Boom.
like his feint, he would like throw a knee and then feint a teep, and then I was like, oh my god, bro, he's freaking good. Right there, he did spinning back fist, and the ref, like what you were saying, was like, no spinning back.
Yeah.
Bro, these guys are like just...
It's like, what are the rules?
That was crazy. Yeah, I think they're crazy because it'd be so hard because we're kind of like taught to scoop the kick.
Yep.
And like they weren't allowed to like scoop the kicks and stuff.
That's the thing about kickboxing too. It's high action because you're not going to be sweeping people. You're not catching kicks. None of that shit. The clinch game is out of there.
Yeah.
So it's just striking and moving, striking and moving,
Yeah.
striking and moving. Look at this shit, dude. There's no way I could kick that many times within a minute.
Dude, that first round, I was like, I would be literally on the floor probably passing
remember we
out.
sparred 2 weeks ago?
Oh my god.
2 rounds. Alex is like, I gotta go. I'm done.
We've been training like all boxing and like we've done some kicking, but I haven't sparred in a long time in general.
So tiring.
And then we did kickbox sparring, and I was like,
This dude
oh
like he's about
my
to die.
God. I was so tired.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the rest of the card. I mean, that was very entertaining. Keita Ruotolo wins his match, and then this one I think was interesting. Shinya Aoki versus Jon Lineker. If you guys remember, it was supposed to be Super Sage Northcutt, but Sage, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Sage, on I think the day of, ended up pulling out because his dad and his other cornerman couldn't make it as his corner to get their visas. So he pulled out of the fight saying, I just want my corners. And that was it.
What you about to say?
I'm curious, what do you guys think? Should he have taken the
why
fight?
are they flying in the day of the fight?
I know.
Like, what the fuck?
Fucking
Like,
irresponsible.
how is that even a thing? That's why I'm just like, there's some other random excuse, bro. How are they flying in the day of your fight? That's bullshit. I don't know. Shout out John Lee.
And they're like, we didn't get our visa approved. Like, you knew about this fight for a very long time.
5 months you've been training for this.
So you just applied yesterday? Like,
Well, I think it's because also, right? I mean, this is where you take UFC for granted a lot of times, right? I'm sure UFC has staff where they're wrangling these fighters.
Better league organization.
Exactly, right? So instead of putting the responsibility on, let's say, people showing up and doing all these things, I'm sure there's a more aggressive approach within the UFC that says, dude, let's get this all squared away, right? And so any like developing other sports organization with combat sports, like those are the logistical things that you take for granted with the UFC, right? I mean, how many live UFC shows have you gone to? They are so well streamlined. I've been to some pretty bad shows outside of the UFC. Again, I'll still like it. It's fun, but it's like, dude, this is a whole different level of production.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think if you're in Sage is in position, and like obviously the corner is important, but do you drop out of the fight? Or you think that's pussy meter? Where's the pussy meter on
I
that?
think for him as a young person fighting Shinya Aoki, who's, by the way, he's legend. He's on his way out, right? I don't understand. You've already been. The prep work is done now, right? All this other stuff. He has been so inactive ever since he got his face smashed in by Cosmo Alexandre. This does not look good for Sage Northcutt. Even if he went in there and he'd lost, he still would have looked better than not showing up for a fight that you already prepped for simply because Daddy is not there.
And then you use that as an excuse. If you lose, well, I didn't have my corner. But like, at least go and fight, dog.
Go out there and fight. And by the way, too, he is substantial. He's like, what, 27 years old?
Dude, yeah, he's a beast.
Fit out of his fucking mind. Great striker. And also, too, he could probably shuck Shinya off of him. You know what I mean? I really thought that even if his corner wasn't it, once again, I'm not in the mind of a fighter. I don't really know. But I've heard multiple high-level fighters say, the corner is there to kind of fill in the gaps. We've already done the work. I've heard that from multiple coaches, multiple fighters say the same thing. It's nice to have them, but when it's time to show up, it's time to show up, and he chose not to. So I don't really think that was a good look on him.
I randomly saw him on a corner in LA and took a picture with him.
I saw him at the airport once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think he was actually pretty stoked that I recognized him.
Yeah.
Because this was like the early, when he was
He's like
like
the
a
nicest
UFC
dude
fighter.
ever.
Yeah, he was
Super
super
nice.
nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
he was super nice.
Natty?
What's up?
Is he natural?
I have no idea.
He was pretty big when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
him. Yeah. I'm just sorry. I keep getting, look at that name right there, dog.
Which one?
Scroll down. Next fight.
About to sit in the samba ping pong.
Just stack up about a ping pong.
Try to sit
Shit titty? Or shit
Shit titty. Shit titty.
Shit titty.
Okay, wait. With Thai fighters, you know how they have like one name?
Yeah.
Or numbers. Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Wait, that's his
Last name, Kitamu 9.
Kitamu 9.
damn. Is that his real last name? You
Yeah.
really think?
Oh.
What's the story behind that,
Shit
right?
titty.
Is there like a certain like rite of passage before you become a fighter with just one name?
Yeah, it's like Fairtex Stamp.
Yeah.
That's not like her real name.
I guess you
right?
represent your fucking gym, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shinya fucking choked the shit out of Jon Lineker, though, huh?
Bro.
I know.
And Jon Lineker is a fucking banger.
I know, but the size difference was so
insane.
crazy.
Like, it even says open weight.
Dude, did you guys hear the post-fight interview?
Yeah.
Every
Shinya
time
Aoki.
I hear Shinya talk, and I know you're going to talk about a different subject, but man, his voice sounds so crazy now. Like in his early days, like when he was, I forgot what organization. There's been so many damn organizations, right? But he sounds like he's a heavy chain smoker. But I don't know. Is it because he's got like, is it because of chokes or something?
That fool sounds like
He didn't
Dikembe
sound like that.
Mutombo, dude. Straight up.
Yeah, he didn't sound like that when he was younger. He
dude
actually
got-
had a high-pitched voice when he
Fool
was
got
younger.
ashy vocal cords.
You guys remember when Lineker fought TJ in the UFC?
Yeah.
And then he was like on his back and like was like throwing his head into TJ's elbows.
I don't know. That was like one of the weirdest defenses ever.
Like, fuck.
I was like, this guy's crazy.
Head check, baby.
He was going back and forth for somebody else for a championship, but he was actually a champion in one.
Yeah, I believe so.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
he won it. Yeah.
And that one young kid came and took him out. He's an amazing striker, but this fool got fucking bombs, dude.
Next fight, guys, I want to talk about is Sexyama versus Holzken. We thought that rule set did not favor.
I mean, it happened the way we thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, it goes boxing first round, second
with
round
the shoes, and then the
kickboxing.
second, it was planned that the between rounds during the second they're going to take off the
their
boxing shoes.
and then third round MMA. If I was Akiyama's team, I would have asked for MMA first.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
By the way, for people who don't, Nieky Holzhen is a fucking legend, living legend. And his boxing is amazing.
Dude.
Fucking amazing.
Was he a boxer first?
Akiyama's boxing.
He might have been a boxer,
terrible.
but his kickboxing is what he's known for. I mean, a lot of these guys start in some type of martial art first before they do their main thing.
Akiyama was totally walking into the right.
Look at this shit, dude.
Damn, they didn't favor it for like when DJ did that Ron Tank thing.
For reals.
they-
Why you got to do this to this dude, man?
Dude, but when Akiyama started getting stanky leg, right, he went to the instant like autopilot of like going
Double
for the
leg.
clinch and trying to go for the double leg.
Oh,
Look at this.
Grab the
So-
rope.
Right there,
Come on,
right?
guys.
He gets checked on that back fist, right? You can't do that.
But honestly, for a 50-year-old man, that guy looks good.
He's in shape.
You talk about somebody on the sauce.
I also saw him in Hawaii. Me and him were in a jacuzzi just by ourselves.
Dude, you find yourself in the weirdest like
Random
scenarios.
Well, it's actually where he lived. I was actually at a friend's place in Hawaii who owned like, condos.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, it was bad, man.
What was that?
It was a hook. Oh, really tight hook.
Oh, man.
Dude, he dropped him so
That was so
hard.
tight. The ref was like blocking him too.
Yes.
God damn.
Oh,
Go back to that big ass step that he took.
Yeah, when he does the he does a two-step.
By the way, we're not making
Stanky
fun of
leg,
him. It's
dude.
just kind of cartoonish.
It's just autopilot at this point. He has no idea what's going on.
How is
here.
this fair matchmaking? I don't get it.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Well,
they should have done it like what they did for DJ and Ron Tank.
Give
that
him,
would make
like,
way
yeah.
more sense.
You see this in a lot of different leagues, though, right?
Well, like
Matchmaking.
first round judo, second round who's Tanner, third then
Look,
box.
it's fun. I get it, but it's like, how do you keep it sustainable?
Not even a lot of power in that shit.
and it's these 4-ounce gloves too, bro. It's just like, oh my.
Oh, that body shot. Look at that
God.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
my-
it's-
At that
That
point, the
sucks.
ref should have just called it. He
Sarang.
didn't even let him go.
this man looks
get
like
up.
Lechon, dude. He's so dark.
No, he is so dark.
You got that crazy.
I feel like it'd be
skin.
so. I want to go to a fight. I want to go to a ONE FC fight.
You know
live.
what's so fucking funny about this? I was reading the comments. There's so many people at first were like, "How can you set up fucking Akiyama like he's fucking in his 40s?" They're like, "Dude, Nicky's in his 40s."
Yeah.
he's 40.
Nicky's in his 40s
He's
too.
40.
How does he move like that?
There's two 40-year-olds fighting each other, but because he looks so young, people forget how old he is.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of
You
new
can see
fans coming
Akiyama's
in.
face. He looks older.
Yeah.
Like, compared
Well, he's
to, like,
8 years
how he was
older.
fighting even in the UFC, right?
Yeah, but
So-
people forget how long Nieky has been fighting in this. He was like top dog for the longest time, and now he's at the age where he's starting to lose that top dog position to a lot of these younger fighters. But as a 40-year-old, he's still scary as shit, dude.
Yeah.
And him fighting Akiyama, who's 48, I don't know. They should have been MMA first.
Yeah, should definitely. 100%.
Oh, look at that body shot. That shit fucking hurts, dude. Oh.
You already can't breathe and there's sauce in your jaw. Like, God damn.
With these tiny ass gloves, dude.
Man, that sucks.
Akiyama's not even there. He just disappeared to
he
another
was set
dimension.
up for failure.
He's trying to figure out he's supposed to go back to Japan or Korea right now.
Yep.
He's like Superman. He's like, I gotta regenerate by the sun again. I know. Get more sun.
Does that even feel good for Nieky to win? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder. It looked like he fought somebody who just started fighting yesterday.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if that feels good for him.
Yeah, it's so weird. I feel like they should have done MMA first.
Yeah.
And if he could have possibly still done that, because the hook came off of a clinch attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably could have still done that in the MMA, and then you feel a little bit better. But
He beat Shinya Aoki like last year or 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Also a big size difference, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, Aoki's got a pretty small frame.
Yeah.
Let's get some fight news in. Jon Anik, I believe a week ago, he obviously chose Dricus in the match between Dricus and Strickland to win. Or he saw the fight going that way for Dricus, and a lot of fans were shitting on him for making that pick. And then Jon Anik talked about retiring because he doesn't like all the negativity of the scum of the MMA fandom, and recently just put out an apology saying that he didn't mean to say that and that it was just
No, you did.
Mistake.
And you were right.
And say it.
What happens? The UFC's like, what? Hey, what is you doing?
Yeah.
I retract my statements.
Yeah.
There's that one meme on as photoshopped as it gets, which I think is a hilarious Instagram. But it's like Dana holding a gun. It's obviously photoshopped, but Dana's like holding a gun to the back of Jon Anik's
So
head,
funny.
saying, "Say your apology."
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Jon Anik complaining about it. I mean, he's in public figure. What do you think?
You're in a rock and a hard place. I mean, you guys have somewhat public profiles, but how the heck do you deal with stupid people?
Nothing. I just don't deal with it. I don't read it. Like, I know I say dumb things.
I genuinely always find it funny.
Yeah.
Well, most people.
A tear in Alex's eye.
No, I
It is
do. Every time I've
hilarious.
seen it, it's always.
Well, most
funny to me.
people don't understand the idea of being a public figure, right? Like when you become a public figure, you don't get to control what comes out of somebody else's mouth. You just do what you fucking do, and people will hate you for it. They'll love you for it. It doesn't fucking matter. The greatest example of this is that you have to understand how fleeting these emotions are that people have. They don't actually care about you. They're bored out of their fucking mind, and social media is just entertainment for them. There's a select amount of people on Reddit who are the biggest fucking losers on earth that sit and they wait for somebody to die and implode. But that's a very small group of people, right? They just get on Reddit and they see, and I've seen my Reddit about me. Dude, it's so fucking crazy. Man.
Bro, my Reddit's insane.
Dog, it's insane. And it's like, you can't, it's almost so ridiculous, you can't get mad at it. And then it sounds like kind of hoity-toity shit, but you actually do start to feel bad for somebody that they write essays about you. It's like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Like, you're worth more than observing somebody to the minutia of their whole life from a fucking telescope and then having it eat you up every day. Like, live a little more. Right? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what that is. But that's a small group of people. Most people just use social media as entertainment. Jon Anik also has to understand, too, when you decided to do a podcast, you are not under the UFC umbrella now. You're not protected anymore. Now, you have to be responsible for the things that you say, because now what you're saying is very personal. It's not under the umbrella company of the UFC. So you're going to say shit like this in a heightened state. Just accept it.
Yeah.
You felt what you felt at the moment.
So going from there, right? Let's say Jon obviously is going to probably stick with obviously the UFC and continue. So then would you say his learning lesson going from here would be maybe I won't be as accessible to the fans, right? Because he was saying, I want to be accessible because I'm not a Joe Rogan where my platform's so huge where I can still be kind of, if somebody comments or says something, I can actually engage with that particular person. Like, is that something that's just a terrible idea going forward?
I just don't think if you're mentally prepared for that, just don't do it at all. Like, people don't need to know more of you, Jon Anik. They actually don't. You've given so much of yourself to this sport already. Why do they need to know more about your personal thoughts? If you're not ready for the backlash, you're going to get backlash. You could say, my favorite color is blue, and they'd be like, what's up,
You suck,
blood?
bro.
What's up, blood? What you got a problem with red blood? That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying?
You're morphing into a clown.
You turn to fucking Popeye. Leave olive oil alone. But, it's just the nature of the thing, right? I've done so many things where I put out and then I see half people hate it, half people love it. And either way, I chose to put it out. I take on that responsibility.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong about things, of course I'm going to be wrong. Of course I'm going to be wrong half the time. Most of the time with podcast formats too, we're not there to be informative. It's literally, you are a fly on the wall and you're watching people just talk. Whether the ideas are good, bad, smart, stupid, it's just people talking. When you guys have conversations at home with your dumbass fucking friends too, you sound just like us, which is probably the entertaining part about it. So if you expect everybody on a podcast to be consistently polished, we are not news reporters. We are not a source of information. We are none of that. We're just a bunch of idiots talking that might say a few smart things here and there. So as an audience member, if you take it like that with a grain of salt, you walk away feeling a lot better, because if I recorded your personal conversations, you guys would be canceled like that.
Boom.
Hey, my boy just ate that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
But do you think that MMA fans online fans are a different kind of breed?
Yeah, because most of them have my body type. And they be talking hella shit.
Also, like, have you guys ever heard of MMA Underground? So, way back, right, there was Sure Dog, and then there's MMA Underground. If you go into the forums of MMA Underground, it is fucking
Crazy, huh?
I mean, it's just like 4chan.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's. I mean, like, they just want to see the world fucking burn.
The crazy thing for me with this, it's like he's been around MMA for so long.
You know
I'm
how
like,
this
you're
fan-
barely getting Like, this is how it's always been.
You only got one.
Yeah, dude.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm like, well, okay.
I think it's also though too, right? Where this is where I guess MMA journalism can kind of like ride off of this, right? Because you can kind of piggyback off of the idea of like the Strickland fan base, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Strickland fan. I hated Strickland in the beginning, right? I used to watch him to get knocked out. Now he totally won me over, but to say like every Strickland MMA fan is going to be like that 4chan MMA underground, want to see the world burn and, you know, just America, which I am pretty America, but you know, it's a small set of what the whole reality is, right? I mean, like that's the cool thing about like MMA or even UFC fans, right? If you go to the actual events, there is so much damn diversity. It is nuts.
Very
like, it's so
diverse.
crazy, right? I mean, even like women, like there's probably like the highest like fan base of like women like fans in general when you see like UFC and MMA too, right? So I don't know. It's just an interesting larger conversation because I'm always curious, right? It's like even like that with Anik. Does he like? Is there ever an instance where you should apologize? I guess as a public profile.
I mean, for his job, he should.
Yeah.
If he was just a podcast personality, nah.
Okay.
Just be like, he was like, you called us fucking sludge and slime. It's like, yeah, I did, bitch. You don't know shit. I've been in this sport for how many fucking years? Been with fighters. You don't think my opinion counts for something? Shut the fuck up and suck my dick.
That's what I'm saying. It had to be, I feel like it had to have been something on the UFC side.
100%.
They messaged him like, yo, what
Come
are
on,
you doing,
dude.
Mike?
You're
Yeah,
a
you got to pull up
professional.
that ass Photoshop
Can't
as
be-
it gets.
Like, you're our main guy. You can't be talking
I
shit about
love
our
that
fans.
Instagram handle. It's so funny.
He's
to me.
also kind of UFC's darling, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't fuck up. He doesn't say anything
The
wrong.
clean guy.
Everybody loves him, and he always gives everybody a fair handshake when it comes to fights.
Yeah.
So when he on his own podcast, he actually gets to choose picks, favorites,
Yeah.
which a fan will always do as a fan of the sport. Like anything, we have our favorites. It doesn't mean anything, right? For us on a fan basis, maybe to the fighters it hurts their feelings, right? But it's like if fans don't get to choose their favorite fighters, that means we're not watching your sport anyways.
Yeah.
You know? So just, I don't know. It's just so stupid. It's just honestly dumb. I think Jon Anik has to do that for his job. Did he do anything wrong, say anything wrong? No, you're a fan of the sport. Why can't he say that?
Yeah.
You know?
What's that one ESPN commentator? He in the beginning he came and then he kind of got faded out. The black guy.
Brett, oh.
Like everyone would clown him because he didn't know shit about him.
Oh, you talking about
what's his name?
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
But you know what? He totally knows how to get people to watch him, though. Give him props on that.
Conor McGregor is the greatest striker in UFC history. Let's see if you guys think this is stupid. Aljamain Sterling on the MMA Hours said it was comical that the UFC stacked $2.99 to make it feel like Sean O'Malley is the draw. So
Salty.
Still salty.
Little-
Let it go, bro.
See your point,
pretty
man.
salty, but I do want to get your guys taken. Actually, we've been talking about UFC 300 a lot. I want to see if you guys think UFC 299 kind of could potentially be a better card. You got Sean O'Malley, Chito Vera at the top, Dustin Poirier, Benoit Saint Denis. You got Kevin Holland, Michael Venom Page, Gilbert Burns, Jack
First of
Della-
all, Michael Page is not that dark. That's hella offensive.
You got Piotr Jan,
card
Yang
is stacked.
Dong. And then, bro, then the prelims, Curtis Blades,
What? He's in the
Macy Barber, Rafael Dos Anjos in the prelims, Pedro Munoz in the prelims.
Kyler Phillips.
And bro, look at the early prelims. If
No,
you still got fucking Michael Pereira.
Yep.
I don't know. I still don't feel like it's more stacked than 300 though. To
No,
be honest.
so look at that card.
Because a lot of those fights, like Menon Page never even fought. He's old. Like I don't.
Whoa, buddy
Like
boy.
I don't care about that fight.
And look at this
honestly.
one. No main event yet.
bruh.
You know, the century cards, right? 100, 200, 300. Historically, right? It's always been kind of catered more of the fight celebration being the 100 card, right? So UFC 300 is more about the card itself rather than just the overall bigger picture of the sport in the sense of like the rankings and where things go, right? So 300 is going to be a huge fan favorite fight with some relevant fights, but 299 is very focused on like continuing the as regular scheduled. So I think there's a debate that 299 could be fucking amazing.
I mean,
know,
it's fire
I
card.
know 300.
But like even that. But like what's your from?
Look how we're complaining. Sorry, but look how
know.
we're complaining about
These
two
cards are nice.
But I'm like,
I
what
feel
you're
so bad about
saying-
UFC 301.
For real, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Nobody's watching.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
Poirier Benoit, that fight doesn't even make sense to me. So like I don't see how that really like helps the division. Kevin Hall and Michael Page, that's just a fun fight. Burns, like look at the rankings. Peter Yan, Song Yadong. I wish that was on 300.
Yeah,
because
that's a banger.
When you went to the like Curtis, no one wants to see Jalton fight, bro. That last fight was so boring.
Halton.
Dude, Jalton Almeida is so boring.
Was so boring. Caitlin Chukagian, she's
Macy
cool.
Barber's a girl.
Kind of boring. Macy Barber's cool, but like okay, Matej
Gamrot, come on,
RDA.
Gamrot. That's a headliner.
I know, but
for a fight
RDA,
night.
okay, like cool. He's been what? Awesome. Go to 300
What is this
again.
fucking
Go to
UFC 300 stand
Go to
over
300
here?
again. Go to 300 again and just scroll. Dude, right when he started scrolling, me and David gave each other the eyes. Like, my God.
Why?
This is
China. It's because it's the Gaethje
stacked,
Holloway fight. That's what we're looking at.
I know, but look, I'm wearing the Holloway shirt too, dog. But it's like, okay, that fight I hate. I wish it wasn't happening.
What's gonna be a big?
I'm so against that fight, number one. But other than that, every fight makes sense for the division.
Oh, here he is back against Rakic. That's crazy.
Every fight on here is good, and it leads to good. Diego Lopez, he's a rising star fighting Sadiq. Like this fight card right here, I think all this is
Bobby Green, Jim Miller.
Freaking Aljamain Sterling got dipped in a freaking bowl of salt, bro.
Yeah.
So salty. Because it is not more stacked than 300, I promise you. I think
Salt Bae.
I think Dana White blew up 300 before they started announcing fights way too much. So no matter what they do, everybody's going to feel a little underwhelmed. Like, it's not that. But if you really look at that fight card, bro.
All right, fine. You sold me.
Bro, don't ever say 299 is more stacked. Because it's not.
Hey, my man serving, dog.
Hey, David ate earlier. I'm eating now, bud. That
gobble.
shit is not stacked.
Gobble,
gobble.
200.
I will happily watch 298,
Yes.
299, and 300.
I'm going to watch them all.
301, I'll watch it.
I'm watching them all illegally.
But y'all really excited for Michael Page?
Yes, dude.
I want to see what Kevin Holland is
perfect
going to do
matchup.
without breaking his hand.
It's true, but it's like it's so late. For me, it's like when Ben Askren came. It was way too late. When who was the other guy that came?
Michael
over?
Chandler.
Chandler came. It's just too late. Like they should have came a lot sooner when they were younger. But it's like Page ain't gonna be. I mean, I guess it's fun, right? But you never know, bro. He was kind of fighting he fought some good people in Bellator, but he fought some really not good people in Bellator too.
I would say like 90% of the people he fought was kind of like, you're going to win this, of course.
Exactly. And Kevin Holland, I mean, Kevin Holland's fun, but he's legit. So honestly, I feel like Kevin Holland's about to beat the shit out of Michael Venom Page.
I mean, this is where I think the UFC is very strategic and smart.
Yes.
They like to set up these matchups where you're going to expect a fight where if Holland wins that fight, you kind of say, you throw shade that way towards Bellator. It's like, these guys come in and they can't really do that, right? Like, obviously, that's not necessarily true, right? I mean, the Strikeforce era and even who's the Bellator guys who did really well? Chandler did really well, right? Coming in. Eddie Alvarez came in really good, right? So...
I think this is another, like, Dana White's like, hey, Bellator, you shut down. My bad. Here, let me bring your star over here.
Yeah.
Oh, your star just lost.
I mean,
four
this
in
is
a
a
row.
good move
my
for them,
bad.
right? Because if Michael Page wins, he's only beating number 13.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Well, but it's also good, though, too, because then it's like, okay, great. So then I want to continue to see Page, right? So it's a win-win, right? I mean, in the sense, I know that it's too late, but I think if a guy fights, it's good for and loses, it's good for the UFC. If a guy fights and he wins, then it's fine because then you carry over some fans and you move over things and, it's a whole breed.
You know what happens every time a Bellator fighter comes over, though? They always win their first fight. And then they lose.
That happens a lot.
And then they lose the next two. So he might be hauling. You never know.
You think Sean O'Malley's going to beat Cheeto?
I do. I really do.
I've first thought that, but I think I'm going to go with Cheeto, depending if Cheeto revs up earlier in the rounds. Because he always is
slow star.
I agree with you, but I just feel like that's what's been supposed to happen with Cheeto for like 3 fights now.
And he hasn't done it.
The narrative
hasn't done it.
keeps doing the same.
And honestly, like, I'm still not the biggest fan of Sean O'Malley. I like his fighting style. I'm just not like a fan of him per se, but he was kind of piecing up Cheeto in that first fight. Yeah. And he's only gotten better. And Cheeto to me, has kind of just looked the same.
Yeah, he hasn't like evolved.
So I'm just like, the fight that should be happening is Sandhagen, Sean O'Malley.
That's the one I want to see the most.
That's the fight. I mean,
stylistically.
Sandhagen beat Vera. Isn't Vera oh no, he did just beat Pedro, right? He beat Pedro on short notice.
He did beat Sandhagen.
Yeah, he beat the
Sandhagen beat him.
Yeah, I looked at you like, boy, what you talking about?
I love Sandhagen.
Sandhagen,
so good.
He's the guy that I want to be champ.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that I want to show that early in his, he started getting onto the big show, right? But he kind of like fell a bit short.
Yeah.
I think that's just young, inexperienced. I mean, he's a good fighter, but I think he's just so wise. He's such a smart guy.
I think the UFC is making a big mistake in not pushing Sandhagen more often. I think what they look at him is like somebody who doesn't talk well on the mic and stuff like that, right? But the biggest difference between him and everybody else is that Sandhagen will take any fight, anywhere, anytime. So if you want a champion that stays active, that's Sandhagen.
Dude, he was about to fight Umar on
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
Hey, and I can say there's a reason why Sean O'Malley ain't been yapping about, you don't have some weird nickname, you don't have anything about Corey Sandhagen, dog.
Because you don't want that smoke.
Because he knows, bro. Sandhagen is his hardest fight.
Yep.
It's his hardest fight in that division, except like Umar probably, but other than that.
I think he's stylistically like Sean without all the distractions.
Exactly.
All right, we got a video from
this video.
Alex. Some guy wanted death, and he kind of got it. Let's go watch this clip.
Why even bro?
Why?
My man's
Check
beat
this
the
out. Check this out. Did you guys see this leg check?
Oh my God, yeah.
How's this fool gonna fucking check a shin with the foot?
Dude, I want to start doing that.
That cross right there, when you step back and cross, bro.
But bro, if I'm ever sparring Alex and I feel like him going harder, I'm not trying to match that. I'm gonna just get hit.
Oh.
Look at this. Oh my God.
This one went to another dimension.
Dude, I love how everyone's cheering. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing, dude?
This fool forgot he was sparring. He just went into the crowd.
Wait, who you sparring with?
Look at it.
It's like, who's
Look at
sparring?
this leg check.
He went to the crowd. He was like,
Yeah, good job.
And what's crazy is that guy's so powerful that's probably still like 50% for him.
Maybe even, right?
Yeah.
He just tapped him like that.
That's the issue. Like, I'm not even trying to say like, I hit so hard, right? But like, for me, I feel like I don't want to throw with speed because I feel like I'm going to accidentally
it's gonna
throw
hurt.
too hard. But he's so high level, right? So he's just throwing with speed.
oh, totally.
But you could tell it
But
hurts
you
him.
can
Look
tell
at
it's
that.
hurting that guy, but you can also tell
he's
like
there, yeah.
you can see in his face. He's not like
Yeah.
he's just like yeah, catch this little step back, boom. He's just throwing, bro.
I mean, he starts the video with a left hook, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh my God.
that left
What
hook
the
is
fuck is
death.
that,
So,
dog?
of course, he's holding back.
Also, whoever coaches this other kid, what are you doing having him spar this hard?
And also, have you seen this kid kick? It's like he's a beginner.
Yeah.
He did
Yeah.
like one of those
He's
like,
like-
little like.
That right there, where his hands are
yeah,
down
yeah.
and he's like trying to hit you with his
Yeah,
toes.
yeah.
Like that's like.
Why is he in this
Also,
class?
Pieta, bro, chill.
He was a hoist crease
Little baby.
You know?
Like, bruh, unless he said some bullshit to him or was like, I don't know, but
Did
like,
that kid throw hard? Let's see. Did he throw hard?
no, bruh, that was,
Not
no.
once.
I think.
There was one that hits him.
Well, you could
right-
tell like Pierre's
Why?
pulling back. Look at this, like pull back his cross.
Oh
He
my
just tapped him, but then it flew him back.
God.
It's kind of true though. What Sean says is like if he touches you, it's just different.
Yeah.
because
That's why bring bully beat down back.
I know.
Alex is
A
the
regular
only guy.
civilian against.
He also looks like he's wearing
Fighters.
40-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
like a cartoon character.
So yeah, Alex. People also have been talking about his weight. I think is walking right now at 200 pounds. People are speculating that
185.
he's coming down 185 to take Dricus. Do you guys believe that? True or false?
I don't think. I think Dricus might beat him
Yeah, with that
at
wrestling.
85. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
damn,
shit.
I didn't know he was walking around that light. I thought he was walking around like 220.
Yeah, but so
damn.
people are wondering why he's cutting or like why he's so low right now.
I mean, if he goes back, let's just say this: if Dricus gets touched by Alex,
Oh my God.
it's a different game because you saw because he. Dricus kind of just walks through a lot of people's punches. He's not gonna walk through one of those. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a bit different.
I think it's perfect that like Dracus when he fought Sean, right? And he hit him with some clean shots a lot of times and Sean didn't go down. I think that's like the perfect indicator to see that there's the difference.
Yeah.
Like
Also-
this guy has a different type of power because Dracus remember when he fought that Trevin Giles guy?
Yeah.
He was like getting pieced up kind of just threw
Pretty
like
bad.
this normal cross and like freaking flatlined him. Like, so he has power, but he couldn't put out Sean. I mean, he literally put out Sean, bro. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's just different.
Has Alex been really ever tested when it comes to the ground game, or
Well, his debut.
That and then what's his name? Jan tried to wrestle the fuck out of him. And,
He did a great job.
Yeah, and he kept getting up and it just tired out Jan. So
He had his defense on his back was really good. He kind of negated all the shots, locked up his arms. It was really surprisingly good.
And Jan's not like known as a wrestler, but if you go example, when Jan fought Izzy, that's how he beat Izzy. He just out wrestled him the whole entire time. So I feel like, bro, you're working with Glover. You're gonna get good at that type of stuff because that's where Glover like shined was his grappling.
Yeah,
and I mean his boxing was good, but his grappling was insane.
Damn, that resume, dude, to get to fucking double champ status.
I saw someone ask this question earlier on a MMA thing, and let me ask you guys: is because he became double champ so fast? Do you agree that he's already a Hall of Famer in the UFC? Because that's the fastest anybody's ever became double champ.
Man, this is a good question, right? Because there was a conversation about this with Jim Miller.
Yeah.
And I actually, if somebody said, like, look, let's just go to the topic of Jim Miller, right? Somebody said Jim Miller was a Hall of Famer. Would I be mad at it? No. But if somebody asked me straight up, do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? I would probably lean towards the no.
Yeah.
Really?
But then the conversation, then why was Donald Cerrone allowed to be a part of the Hall? Because he didn't have a belt either. And he was kind of there for his tenacity, how many great fights he's had. Yeah. Well, I guess Jim Miller will kind of fall into that same category.
Yeah, and I think because Cerrone had like the most finishes and stuff, but now Miller does. Miller overdid it. That's the only issue. I agree with you. It's like Hall of Fame. I feel like you kind of have to be. I feel like UFC does it smart because they make these wings. Yeah. Because I think like you can't just put everybody in there because then you're gonna be like, well, this guy's in there. Why don't you put this guy in there? So I think they're smart for doing wings, right? Like putting fights as a Hall of Fame fight and stuff like that. You know. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't mind like maybe like in the like. I don't know. Like you just said, David said it perfect. I wouldn't care if they put him in, but like, is that my first thought of like, who's a Hall of Famer?
I would have put him there.
So
sorry.
My bad. But there's no like objective criteria to be in the Hall of Fame, right? But I think if I were to say the one objective thing is, there's a certain point where I can bring up like a fighter like George Soteropoulos. Who the fuck is going to know who that guy is, right?
Impactful to Australia.
Yeah, exactly, right? But I think it's like UFC's recognition of wanting to make sure that that particular fighter is somebody you should look back into once that era is long gone to say, hey, remember this guy.
Yeah.
Right? And again, of course, one would argue is we have to talk about his accolades, but I think just even the note of Jim Miller, just doing UFC 100, 200, and 300, like that in of itself is an accolade, and that something might be worth noting for just the longevity of saying, hey, remember this guy.
Yeah. I feel like when he retires, definitely, because if he's still going to continue to fight, he's still winning fights. He's still doing it. Like
looking good too.
All he's doing is he's heightening that record that he has, right? So, and it's going to be a hard record because he has like freaking 30 plus UFC fights.
I mean, didn't he also knee bar Charles Oliveira in his first rise to power? Like when Oliveira was like that young, hungry kid. I think Jim Miller was the guy who put the brakes on him because I think that was when I was like, dude, Jim Miller fucking beat you. Like, you suck. That was kind of like my comment back then, right?
I feel like for the Pereira, I think he needs to win a couple more fights before. Yeah. Because I feel like
some belts.
The moments that he fought for the belts, it was kind of like those moments like it was the perfect time, perfect fight.
Yeah.
So like I feel like if you can go in and defend the belt like a light heavyweight like one more time or two more times or something like that, then you can do it. But right now it's almost like it just played out so perfect that I don't know if you can do it just yet.
If he goes up and he knocks out Tom Aspinall, then he'll definitely get that.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
I don't think so either. Or Tom Aspinall crazy.
Yeah. It's in the talks, right? Because it's like, right, the UFC always is so good at building contenders, right? But I think UFC champions, though, I think their job is to create, of course, win, but it's to create stability in a division. And I think that's where Alex isn't creating that stability, right? And I think that stability, is maybe, in my opinion, a marker of, let's say, in the criteria of where he's at to be potentially in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I think once he brings a stability to a particular weight class as a champion, then I will say absolutely. I think
it's also, too, I think what they also judge it by is, like, what have they done for the sport, right? Yeah. So if you look at somebody like GSP, what did he do for the sport? He was the poster boy for it, right? Conor McGregor.
Ronda Rousey.
He's the one who brought in the most outside people who never watched mixed martial arts.
Dude, you remember GSP when he would come to, you always see people come to conferences now wearing suits?
Yeah.
back in the era of UFC, nobody showed up in a suit
Affliction
until
shirts,
GSP.
bro.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
They were needle movers, right? And so that goes back to the conversation of Jim Miller. Was he ever a needle mover? In fact, most people probably didn't know about Jim Miller until the conversation of him fighting on UFC 300, still fighting and being one of the older fighters in the sport.
He's also one of the notable guys where, again, not really an attribute to him, but, there's certain fighters where there's always two brothers, typically historically, right? There's always been
He had a brother. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was a heavier weight, right?
Yeah, he was a bigger guy. I forgot his name. Was it Dan Miller? I think
Dan
it was
Miller.
Dan
Dan
Miller.
Miller.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, right? How there's always these brothers that are in the sport. I think it's also just kind of fun to know that Jim Miller, just a little factoid.
Real quick, just to piggyback on the stability thing that you were talking about, I just want to put it out there. Conor McGregor had the worst stability as a champion.
Exactly.
So what are you gonna?
I mean, he laid the
This
blue
guy loves Conor McGregor over here. All right, guys.
Don't care if he fights ever again, though.
Who cares? If
Yeah,
he's
just fucking win, dude. If just win, that's all I care about.
so angry.
Win anything. Win the fight against your alcoholism. Win something. I don't give a fuck.
they're
Win anything.
saying that if he's the headliner for UFC,
He is
300,
165.
I'm never watching UFC again. He better not be the headliner for UFC 300.
Well, guess what?
At this point,
165 he
who
is.
could be though, right? Who, right? I mean, it's like,
Dude,
Hey,
put
hey,
Leon Edwards below. I don't care. It better not be freaking Conor McGregor. He does not. I don't care what he did.
Sorry, it's going to be either Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler 165, or Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor.
yeah, I can see a Nate Diaz Connor, right?
Nate, okay, if it's Nate and Conor, because they've already fought, Chandler does not deserve the freaking headliner of 300.
If Conor ends up being the headliner for 300, will you say on air that 299 is a better card?
299 is stacked as fuck.
I'll tell you this. If Chandler finally gets his fight with Conor McGregor, I guarantee you he's going to adopt another black baby.
Dude, I said
Those are his belts. Those are his trophies.
Dude, there's some crazy
I'm not
memes about
gonna
it.
name one of my boys' names, but so he used to shoot for Chandler like prior to like in the Bellator days and when he got signed to the UFC. But I remember the dude was like, "Man, Chandler's such a good dude. He adopted some black kids."
Those little kids are so fucking cute, dude.
Yeah.
You got the cutest little kids I've ever seen in my life. This fool sent me a meme. It was like these two little African kids dancing. It's like every time Michael Chandler comes back with a paycheck.
Dude, there's a picture of have you ever seen Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yeah.
Remember he has like the three black sons?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a picture of them. They're all old sitting there. It's like Michael Chandler rewatching his old fights with his kids.
The internet always wins.
Guys, that is our time for today because I got to get David out of here for a meeting. We do have a card coming up. We actually talked about this last week by accident. It's a banger. I put it up there with 299 and UFC 300. Just for you guys, just for these top three fights. Everyone just pick a fighter really quick. Robin, start with you. Go. First
I'll go with Imavov.
Boom. David.
Oh, I'm going Roman Dolidze.
Roman.
Okay. I'm going to go with Moicano. Go.
Moicano.
Oh, the mask. Go for the mask.
Let's go with Moicano just because of his newfound confidence and being comfortable in the octagon.
Money.
And then, Robin, we got the Jamaican, or you got Muslim Salikov.
Just throw it out there. Let's throw the Muslim out there.
Let's throw the Muslim out there, okay?
Randy Brown, baby.
Yeah, I'm going Rude Boy, Randy.
I'm going to go with the Muslim. Let's throw the Muslim out there. Guys, that is our show. Leave down in the comments below, what card do you think is better, UFC 299 or UFC 300 if Conor McGregor is the headliner with Michael Chandler?
Pissed, bro.
He's going to be, though.
I'm gonna be so. No, he said International
So
Fight
angry.
Week. So go to International Fight Week. Don't take over 300.
There you guys have it. Make sure you follow Robin, Alex, David, and myself, and make sure you subscribe to us. Guys, leave a comment. Let us know what fighters you want on this podcast. I will make it happen. Peace.